It is, what do we call this damn thing? Rap Life Review. Anyway, new albums is out here on the Rap Life Review. We gotta cover A AP Ferg, Ab-Soul. Corday put out a single, shout to Skilla Baby. Ice Cube, Busta Rhymes, Killer Mike, Egomaniacs. Go check out that single. A AP Ferg, shout to you. Now, Eddie, you sat with A AP Ferg.
I did. So A AP Ferg's new album, DAROLD, is out right now. And you're getting your normal A AP Ferg, whether it's club music, music that gets you hype. But he decided he wanted to dig a little deeper in the album. And, about the middle point towards the end, you're getting some real introspective tracks, very vulnerable songs. And there was one song in particular, Pool, that has such a heavy topic matter that I actually had to ask him about it. I got to talk about it because it hit me so deep when I heard the track. When listening to Pool, how long did you sit on that song before you decided you were going to share that with the world? Because that's a very vulnerable track.
Yeah. So with this album, I was like, it's so easy for me to like talk about other people's problems. And it's so easy for us as rappers to be like, yeah, we fighting the demons. And yeah, I turned into a demon and I'm on demon time. But it's like, what's getting you to that point? It's like, what's making you into a demon? What like are the demons you fighting? So like, I wanted to walk people and through the mind of Daryl, like the trials and the tribulations. This song basically took me about 8 years to make, Pool, because it was two other versions of it. One, it was a song called We Don't Judge that I did a while ago with Stacey Barth and Chance, the rapper. That song, We Don't Judge, then turned into Innocent Child. And then Innocent Child, I had played it for my boy Kirby, who does Pierre Moss. And we was in the studio. He's like, yo, it sounds like you're saying something, but it sounds like you need to go a little deeper. It's like you're barely scratching the surface. You need to just dive in. So like on Pool, it was like super vulnerable. Boom, like what the therapist is like telling me not to say. It's like, nah, I'm going all the way in.
That's deep. He went, and I'm assuming DAROLD is his government name.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
DAROLD Ferguson.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the sentiment is, as he said when he came up to play the album, that this is the one he's been trying to make for a long time. You know what I mean? On previous albums, like I believe Floor Seats was the last project, Eddie, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, Fergus shared a lot about his lifestyle, and we know he moves in cool circles. He's in fashion, obviously he's in music. But yeah, to Eddie's point, this is an album where he's really just digging deep into childhood trauma. And there's even thoughtful songs like Casting Spells. I think that's the one with Mary J. Blige. That's one of my favorite songs on the album because it really centers in on just like the power of your words. Like things you can speak into existence, both negative and positive. He's talking about things rappers say in the lifestyle they talk about in their music and how it doesn't match up and labels don't care about them. Like there's actually a lot to unpack in here. Deep. And I do love those last few songs, Casting Spells, Pool, the one with Elmine that Eddie just talked about, Chosen again. Really thoughtful album, and I love hearing that from Ferg because like when the Mob came out in New York, that was such a crazy moment. So it's nice seeing him and Rocky now being at this stage of adulthood. It's like we've been growing up with them, right? Seeing them mature, not losing like the fun, cool shit that they used to do, but like just talking about some real adult shit because we're all going through it right now. So I love this album.
I like that Coco Jones joint on that A AP Ferg album. I think
your French Tips.
Yeah, I feel like that's got potential to go somewhere too. So great album, Ferg. Ab-Soul, Soul Burger, Vince Staples, Doechii. We're gonna talk more about Doechii on the program coming up with the Grammys. Lupe Fiasco, a lot of bars, always pleasant musicality bars on the Ab-Soul album. Anybody on the panel? On the program, spent some time with Ab-Soul's album.
Is it a panel or is it?
It's kind of a panel.
Panels have structure. We don't do structure, Ebro, as you pointed out.
Don't put that out in public. I be in here prepping. I go over the prep with the producers. Everything. We be in here
I hope y'all were recording everything that happened before.
If you don't see the work that we put in to get to this, bro,
give this man an
Oscar.
email.
Yo, man, you gotta play in my
face, all the time you
bro.
read the prep? That's crazy.
Yo, then we didn't go over the prep. We didn't get together. Come on, man.
This side of the couch did it, and Eddie. Anyway.
The Ab-Soul album is fire. The only issue I got with Soul Burger, though, is Herbert, which was his last project, I think dropped like 2 years ago, I think, was one of my favorite albums in recent history.
Yeah.
So we do this thing where I'm unfairly in my head comparing it to one of my favorite albums. So I don't think it's as good as that one, but like Ab-Soul, always rapping his ass off, and it's one of those projects you're probably gonna have to listen to a few times for you to really catch it.
As most Ab-Soul albums are, though.
Yeah.
Like you gotta get in there. So shout out to you, sir. Continue to do great work for hip hop. Yo, and I had a great sit down with the bro Skepta. He's got his new single with Flo Milli. That's out right now. We had a great conversation. He's working on an album too. So we'll throw this in. Let's get to that Flo Milli.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Why lie?
Why lie? Cause she gonna lie to herself anyway.
Yeah.
That's, yo, listen.
I know, man. I shouldn't be saying stuff like that.
Yeah. That's crazy what he said in this song. I was like, wow, I've never even heard it put that way.
It was just a mad. And that's what I was saying earlier, yeah. It's at my worst where I think of this real profound stuff. Like, bullet from a gun, I said, like a bullet from a gun, it burns when you realize she was never your girl, it was just your turn. And I remember feeling these lyrics when I go out like in public and people tell me, oh, well, this song got me through like I'm like, wow, I had to go through a really dark time to even be able to write that, innit? But yeah, man. If I just want to say, if anyone ever hears me saying anything like just weak and insecure and toxic like that, it's because I was feeling really shitty.
But that's a human experience. It's a human experience. Plies is suing Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Soulja Boy. They used the sample in Wannabe, which is clearly a Plies sample. So clearly somebody didn't do the paperwork right, or the splits wasn't right.
Well, wasn't he saying that he was suing them for like stealing like his style or like the influence? It didn't technically seem like it was like more so music. It was just more so influence from like what I read and how he was explaining it.
Well, the lawsuit filed Wednesday in LA federal court said that they used a legally licensed sample of Soulja Boy's Pretty Boy Swag and that itself illegally borrowed from Plies' record Goons. Lil Juju made the beat claim that Wannabe contains a sample of Soulja Boy's song My Dougie, which was released in 2006 prior to Plies' Me and My Goons.
So there's no legal situation that Plies has to back up?
According to this, we don't know. I just wanted to see if you guys had any insight.
And real quick, how sampling works, if you pay the first sample, you don't have to pay all the samples after that.
That's right.
So the key to, for future artists, producers or whatever, if there's some 90s song you really like and it's taking some jazz sample from the 1950s.
You got to pay that first.
If you pay the first one, you don't got to pay the second one. But if you pay the second one, you have to pay the first one.
You might still have to pay the first one, right.
Mm-hmm.
So did the producer pay the first one?
Listen, man, I went through the prep before the thing.
Stop,
if you went through the prep ahead of time, you wouldn't be asking these questions.
You didn't go through no fucking prep, bro.
Yo, man, this guy's all been out of shape, man. You got to stop, man. Just go through the prep when we prep, man. And you won't have these questions, man. Let's get to the Grammys. 2025 Grammy Awards are in. Boom. Best rap performance.
All right.
Cardi B, Common and Pete Rock, Doechii, Eminem, Future, Metro Boomin, Kendrick Lamar, Glorilla, and Kendrick Lamar again for Not Like Us. So Kendrick's in there 2 times, heightening his odds to actually walk away with another Grammy in this category.
You know he's winning it.
You think it's going to be a Kendrick sweep?
I don't know if it's going to be sweep. Not Like Us is getting some kind of trophies. And it's ironic because Drake said it. He opens his mouth, give him a Grammy, and now we on a maybe, well, it's going to happen. We're going to have the first diss track that's going to win a Grammy.
Eddie, and I guess the whole squad. Do you think the Grammys took offense to that from Drake and was like, oh, word? That's how you feel about it? All right.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
run it up. So you're saying it's politically driven? Or based on his narrative,
it's all based on votes. It's based on votes.
Well, yeah, it's a committee.
So it's literally a committee of people who are specifically there inside the Grammy Foundation focused on hip hop.
Are you?
No, I'm not. I don't have any writing credits or any, so I don't vote. You got to be someone who's actually engineered, writing credits, some sort of something.
Okay.
And to be clear, so people know how this works.
I believe.
Drake notoriously never, you have to submit for Grammys. Like you have to hey, I want to be
So Drake has
nominated
5
for Grammy.
Grammys and 55 nominations, which I think is ultimately what resulted in him being like, you know what, I get nominated a lot. I'm not winning a lot. I'm out because I like things that are more based on fandom, chart success. Drake's more of a chart guy than he is
he's a
paying attention to critics and this kind of like artsy-fartsy industry shit. You know what I'm saying?
Which I can understand, because how many times have hip-hop artists in the past, historically, said, hey, the Grammys don't matter, or we're boycotting the Grammys.
A
Because
lot.
we tend to want it both
when
ways.
they don't win.
Matter of fact, the guy with the second most Grammy wins of all time, Jay-Z, at one point was like, we ain't fuck with the Grammys.
Well, yeah, he boycotted the Grammys in '98 because DMX didn't get nominated.
Right.
So I get that, but
And he said in multiple raps that we don't care or F with the Grammys, but then he wins hella Grammys. So this isn't new
So
in hip-hop.
second most all time, behind his wife.
pull up the group chat. You put it in the group chat yesterday.
So basically, Beyonce, after, what was it, what, she get 11 nominations? Is that what she had?
Yes.
This year, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So after Beyonce's 11 nomination, she's the most nominated
99,
person
bro. She got 99 nominations.
in Grammy history. So the second person with the most nominations is her husband Jay-Z with 88. So we talk. There's a million different ways we can assess the greatness of both Beyonce and Jay-Z. The simple fact that a married couple are the two most nominated people in Grammy history is fucking insane.
And they're
No,
black.
don't
And they're black.
curse, don't
For as
curse.
much as we complain that we feel like we don't get represented enough at the Grammys to like
Well.
have what?
Well.
What?
Well,
Well, what?
in
Paul
the
McCartney's
album
number
of
3
the
with
year
82.
category,
It's very scarce.
there's only been 11 black people since 1957 to win album of the year. And 3 of the times was Stevie Wonder. So
That wasn't in the pro.
with the presence of black music in music culture and the album of the year, that's the indictment, I think, oftentimes with the Grammys, is these kind of, because I think it's 3 categories that are the all-encompassing,
Like the
all
album of the
genres,
year,
album
record
of the year, record
song
I
of
mean,
the
even
year,
for
song of the
Beyonce, she hasn't won a lot of those, right?
Which was-
She's never won. She's never won album of the year.
Right.
She's the most nominated person ever, and has never won album of the year
Right.
ever.
Does she? Do you think she gets it this year?
I will fucking riot if Cowboy Carter. Like, first of all,
If they
Renaissance
don't,
had
if
a
they don't
big.
Cowboy
give it to her
Carter's not
for,
getting the album
if
of
they
the
don't
year.
give it to her for the country album, the statement she
No,
made
no,
with
But
that
it's
was
not a
what-
country
No.
album, it's a Beyonce album.
No, I want Cowboy Carter to win album of the year.
It's not.
She's going against Andre 3000.
I'm not sure why
Billie
you're so
Eilish,
sure that it's not.
Chaperone, Fall of Midwest Princess, Taylor's in it, Sabrina Carpenter, album's fire, and Taylor Swift. Listen, bruh, that Beyonce album better win album of the year. At
Well,
least the last time with Renaissance, it was hard. Harry Styles was in there, who ended up winning it. Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift, Adele. That was
guys,
a crazy lineup.
Listen. In a year where they're not giving things to black women at the highest level,
Oh my
I
God,
would
here we go.
temper your expectations.
Also, I just wanted to put this out there that Euphoria should have been submitted for Best Rap Song.
Euphoria's fire.
But is that too
So-
granular to us as like rap fans in terms of how that shifted the battle versus like Not Like Us and how huge those songs went? I don't know if that's.
I just
I
don't.
don't disagree with you on like the impact of the song or how good it was.
Right.
But then what song would you have removed for it to be nominated instead?
I'm taking Not Like Us out, and I'm putting Euphoria
No,
in.
no.
That doesn't
you
really
can't do
make
that.
sense, though,
that
for, like,
that don't
a-
even add up.
Just if we're just like best rap song, just
But
best
if
rap
this was
song.
like the BET Awards, wouldn't that make more sense maybe than like at the
that's
Grammys?
that's the BET Awards. Like they're not looking
they-
at technicality. They're not looking at skill set. They're just looking at popularity.
Why would you take Not Like Us out when there's like a million other rap songs in the best rap song category? Like,
None
it's
of,
no.
what he's saying doesn't make sense. So
Yeah, like it's very
No, it fucking
clear.
does.
Not Like Us was the
It
biggest
doesn't.
rap song
I
of the
don't know
year.
why you guys
Why
do
would you
it.
take out the biggest rap song for Euphoria when
I just
there's
think it's
other
a
artists I'm
better
not gonna
rap
say
song.
right
That's
there?
what I'm saying. I just think it's a better rap song than Not Like Us.
But why would you take out Not Like Us?
You would put
when
both.
there's other songs.
Those other songs deserve that spotlight as well. I
Are
think
you-
Not Like Us is already getting what 7.
That don't even make sense. The biggest rap song of the year by far. I'm gonna take it out because I like Euphoria better.
That's my fucking opinion, bro.
It's wrong.
See what you just did right there, Eddie, is called
Yeah, think of something that you can.
intellectual
No.
elitism.
No.
Because you're speaking on facts and he's speaking on feeling.
All right, are we?
And so now you're talking down to him because of how he feels
When you measure
with your facts.
when we're
That's
measuring
not good.
the metrics for songs,
Yes.
albums, whatever the case is, they're not going off of streams. They're not going off of sales, are they? No, they're not. They're going over technicality. They're going off of production, songwriting, this, that, and the fourth. That's what they're going off of.
I mean, if that was really the case, we just talked about the limited amount of black artists nominated over time.
One more thing I would add to that is probably some impact also.
Yes, impact.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your world, Playboy Cardi Carnival should be in there, but Not Like Us should be taken out in your world.
I don't think that song should be in there either.
So what game are we playing?
What would be your nominations then for best rap song?
I'm just saying Euphoria should be in that category. That's all I'm saying.
So then you reshape the category, right? Okay, so right now, it's Like That, Future and Metro, Kendrick, Glorilla, Yeah Glow, Not Like Us, Rhapsody and Hit Boy and Asteroids, Great Song, and then Carnival. Is that all one?
Yeah,
Carnival.
Kanye West
I can't deal with those albums. Anyway, what songs would you be?
I'm taking out Carnival.
Okay.
And I'm putting Euphoria in. I'm taking out Not Like Us.
But why?
And then replacing it with what?
Why, in what world are we taking the biggest song, the most impactful song in years, and say, hey, man, I'm going to take that out so I can put the other song in?
In Lowe's world, you guys, his truth is his truth.
So you guys want to talk a little bit more about best rap album?
Best rap album, Common and P. Rock, love that album. Doechii, Alligator Bites Never Heal. Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. Future and Metro Boomin, We Don't Trust You, and J. Cole, Might Delete Later. Best rap albums. First I would say don't be surprised if Eminem wins.
It's a good album.
It is.
Like, as far as conceptually, what he did was amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm picking Future and Metro.
For best rap album?
We Don't Trust You? It's a phenomenal album out of these that are here. Now, I love the Doechii album, but I don't think just on impact and name and these other things and kind of all the measurables, I don't know if it transcends to the victory. I would love it though.
Yeah.
If Doechii
walks with the best rap album by putting out a rap album that's conceptually dope, musically dope, lyrically dope,
right?
As a woman, first album out the gate and brings that home, I love that.
Do you believe if we don't get this whole situation between Drake and Kendrick on Metro's We Don't Trust You, do we still have this conversation about that album?
But that's why
I'm just saying, like, do we have this same conversation? Is it nominated? Is it?
Well, there were other songs on that album, not just like that did very well in the real world. It was that song was the big hit,
yeah, right?
But there were probably 5 other songs on that We Don't Trust You.
Type Shit.
Yep.
Everyday Hustle with Ross.
Yep.
We Still Don't Trust You. I can only name about 3 outside of Like That.
Okay.
And that's a 19-song album?
But you're basing what you just said, your argument of what you just said about what you know and what did well.
And what I heard outside.
Right, and what you did well is the opposite argument of what you just argued with Eddie about with Not Like Us.
I knew the setup. I seen the setup
a mile away. You just argued against that.
But that was your argument for it.
No, I just said it was a dope album. My thing was just that it was a dope album. That was it. I never got into the like that part. Look, we don't even have Not Like Us without this album. There is no Drake Kendrick without this album from Metro and Future. So that's just on impact alone.
Okay.
Before you get to what you just ran through, which was the hits or the ones that were happening in real life, I just wanted to point out to you that you were arguing the same way Eddie was arguing for Not Like Us. You were arguing against this album. That's all I wanted to point out. Which was a sales hits-based argument.
I never said nothing about. I said nothing about sales.
Well, hits-based, whatever.
They're like
popularity.
If we're gonna be very frank and very clear, there are no hits on this album aside from Like That. I mean, there are no hits on that album.
But I thought,
there are no hits on that album.
What I'm saying is your
missing
argument,
part.
which is I think it's a good album. I think it's put together well, and there's great shit on the album.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think Euphoria is a great song.
Snubs, Blue Lips should have been nominated for best rap album.
Yeah, Blue Lips definitely.
Yeah,
100%. What else did you have? You had other snubs.
Well, I think that
was my personal one.
Nicki. There's been a big argument about Nicki Pink Friday too.
I think that's a big snub.
Yeah.
On every level.
I agree.
Like, however you're measuring, whatever you're measuring.
I agree.
And there were no singles nominated either, right?
Nothing.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
completely missed the mark.
Yeah.
Now, what would be even more peculiar is like, did they submit? I don't know. Like, I don't
yeah.
see
That's
the-
all. That's the biggest conversation.
So we would have to hear from Nicki on that. Like, were the processes of submitting gone through? Like, did they hit the deadline, submit, pick did the label do what it was supposed? I don't know.
Do you think she even cares? Do you think she even give a fuck? Do you think she
I don't
even wanted to go through this process because she knows how this plays out?
So Nicki's been posting stats ever since the Grammy nom, so clearly she feels snubbed also. Yes.
So that means probably she did submit.
Right.
Well, yes, I do think she should have got at least a nom for Best Rap Album.
Agree.
Any other snubs, Eddie?
This isn't like 100% snub, but it's in the same vein of the Common and Pete Rock album. I felt like the LL Cool J album was a very well put together, artsy, Q-Tip produced.
I think that
OG
might,
proving
I
that
don't know
he
the
can still
deadline,
rap.
but that might have came out after the deadline.
Yeah.
It came out before Doechii.
Did it?
Oh, it did. So maybe you're right.
Yeah, so it's in the deadline.
Yeah.
You know, like the Oscars, there's certain movies that are Oscar fodder. Like people are like, oh, you clearly tried to make an Oscar movie with this, and they usually get nominated. Was something that was that well produced with an OG returning. It had a good enough narrative.
Two OGs, really. Q-Tip on
two OGs.
production.
Yeah.
It had a good enough narrative, and it was a really well put together album that shocked the hell out of me. I thought maybe
Hang
that
on,
would've got
Eddie.
some-
We have, hang on. Producer saying he missed the deadline.
Okay, fair. Then whatever.
Wait, hang on. They would like you to retract your statement.
I retract my statement.
There you go. Any other things we should hit? I just want to once again, shout to Beyonce. Listen, shout to Andre 3000. I know there was a lot of fodder around. Like, how did he end up with an Album of the Year nomination?
I don't get that. I don't get that.
Clearly, he struck a chord with people who vote. Like, because remember, Album of the Year is anybody from any genre, anywhere can vote. So that's like engineers, mixing people, other music. Like, I mean, think of everything that goes into making an album. Like, whether you...
I don't like, and this is no hate because I love Andre 3000. He's a legend. He's just a guy that,
Man, say your hate, dog. That's not.
It's not. I'm just like, what? What?
I feel the opposite of Lowkey here. I feel inspired. I feel like
inspired to do what?
Something different.
This nomination makes me feel like I can follow my dreams and I can be whoever I want to be.
Talk to him.
I'm sorry.
I can be whoever I want to be when I grow up, except president, because I wasn't born here.
I know you told me
Well,
about...
and you're black and a woman.
All of those
these are things
you're
working against you.
I know you told me about the cursing Eddie. DeLorean, but I'm just like, really?
You don't feel any inspiration? None?
Like,
not even a little bit?
Like, that's taking up space. That album is taking up space for some other
Your
dope shit
dreams
that
have
could have
to
been
take
there.
up
Nah,
space.
everybody that was gonna be Album of the Year is on here, bro.
Yeah.
It didn't take.
So when you heard that, you were like, yeah, this is one of them
I'm
ones.
not a flautist. I don't. My
what?
expertise in fluting is not
Stop it.
level enough to critique this. But I will say,
no, like nah, bro. Like,
no, I've never been in this world, man. Yo, let me finish my thought, B.
Okay, my fault.
I'm just saying, I definitely listened to the album multiple times and enjoyed it. I threw that joint on a few times, just like on a Sunday, like vibing, like.
You're mobbing to the flutes?
No, I said vibing.
Why would you mob to the flutes?
I did not ride to it.
Okay, no, I thought you said.
But that's a great suggestion.
No,
said
don't mob to the
flautist.
flutes.
Nah, bending corners to the flutes, baby.
In R&B, I would like to shout out Money Long, Revenge, dope album. She's such an incredible songwriter and like
Usher was in there too.
she
Right?
just has a talent
Usher's
for
in
the
there.
hits.
Yeah, yeah,
Usher's in there too. Chris Brown album that dropped late last year. The
Chris Brown?
11 Deluxe. I forget.
Yeah,
but
but
Sensational
yo-
is on that. Ugh, it's like one of the best songs.
Yo, I hope
Ever?
Chris Brown walks away with this Grammy for real in the R&B category.
It's got a couple.
Other snubs, you guys didn't mention Tommy Richmond, $1 Million Baby.
Okay, so is it confirmed that he submitted in the hip hop categories?
It's confirmed. It's
Oh
confirmed.
boy.
It's confirmed.
So the hip hop Grammy folks was like, yeah, nah, doggy, you didn't want to be a hip hop artist, so figure it out for yourself.
Man, they didn't see the cleanup tweet. He said, I'm not a rapper.
Where would we put him?
See, what about
$1 Million
melodic
Baby?
rap performance?
What about progressive, one of those progressive categories?
Yeah, what about
Progressive?
melodic rap performance?
No, that's just the album, progressive R&B
Oh,
album.
progressive R&B?
I don't know what that means anyway, but is that like alternative R&B?
Yeah, because Childish Gambino's on there. I shout out to homie Durant.
Maybe I give him like maybe best new artist.
Yo, I also want to shout out Lotto for her Grammy nominations and best melodic rap performance. Shout out, I don't think we spent enough time saluting Glorilla today, getting a Grammy nomination.
Also, Shabuzi.
Oh, Linda Martell. Because I was not hip to her story until the Beyonce album.
Because she was a black woman singing country, going around, these racists was booing her. Beyonce got her on the album. She might get a Grammy after it's all said and done.
So that's beautiful. So shout out to Linda Martell and shout out to Beyonce for exposing that story
Shout
to the world.
Shout to Rhapsody. Shout out to Kalani. Yeah, also Hit Boy.
Love Hit Boy.
Glorilla, hell yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff in here.
That's my
Definitely
girl
some
right there.
snubs, but a lot of overall good stuff. And here's the thing about the Grammys: it's like a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it is.
We have this conversation every year.
Literally every year.
When people try to ignore it, and then the nominations come out, and everybody's up in arms and talking about it, and then threatening not to watch it. Then they watch, and then they complain about it.
Just why you just gotta play the flute sometimes.
Be a flautist.
Do your own thing.
All right, man. But this goes.
Never know where you'll
And by the way, on that note of being a flautist, 3000 just walked around the earth bonding with his flute. And that album is, they say, straight improv. So even when you go to an Andre 3000 show to see him play the flute, you may not get the actual album. You get in whatever is on their mind that day.
Incredible. She's living the
So
dream.
he's just freestyling.
True art.
I'm not
That's
gonna
a true
say. I'm
artist.
not
True
gonna say.
artist.
Don't even. But this goes to my
So
point.
does he know the notes? Like, I'm just
See,
curious. Does he know the notes?
Once again, you're asking questions not on the prep. And one last reminder, the family will be in Brooklyn at the Apple, Williamsburg, Brooklyn specifically, at the Apple store. That's Tuesday.
November 19th,
at
7 p.m.
Yeah, boom. Eddie, did you put that in your bio on your Instagram?
It's not on my bio, but I would like to see people there.
Okay.
It's on my bio.
That's right, Lo.
Go to
Sign up
Lowkey
link.
UHTN. Sign up. Seats still
Nadeska,
available.
did you even post?
No.
I put it on my Instagram story
did.
and X. Thank you,
She
Eddie.
posted.
Yeah.
It's the Rap Life Review. For Eddie and Lo and Nadeska, I'm Ebro. See y'all next week.
What's good? Nadeska here. If you made it through that entire episode of the Rap Life Review, that means you're really a fan. Hit that like button so we know it's real. Subscribe if you never want to miss an episode. And of course, if you really have something to say, drop a comment and we'll hit you back on next week's episode.